Okay, now I'm going to show you a couple little tricks. I don't recommend you doing this for everything because the structure isn't there. I recommend you having the header, the footer, and things like that as much as you can. However, when you have random things kind of placed around your website, as I have this flash ping there, you may want to be able to position it without putting it inside of the header, the nav, the body, whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select that layer, and I am doing this in CC, but I believe that Photoshop 6 does the same thing, and the position of it may be a little bit different where it happens, but you can always go up into the help and search for CSS or copy CSS, and it will tell you exactly where it is inside of yours, like it's doing here. So I have that layer selected, and I'm going to say layer, copy CSS. And this does mean that you need to have everything in that layer all grouped together. So I copied the CSS. Now I'm going to go into Dreamweaver, and I've already created in my source code a little class called Flash Ping because I know that that's what it's going to call it. So I'm going to go here out to the CSS, and I can right click and go ahead and paste that in there. And it created that class Flash Ping and put everything in there that I need, including the Z index, which we haven't talked about. But you know, if you think of everything on a page on an X and Y coordinate system, Z is actually building out so that you can layer things. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that in Fireworks. And I'm not seeing it there for myself. Let's see. Oh, the reason why I'm not seeing it there is because notice here in the URL, it just says Flash Ping, and I actually have my graphics inside an underscore images folder, so I actually have to go in, put in that underscore images slash, go ahead and save this, and open up Fireworks again. And you can kind of see it around the edges because it has a really high transparency. If you go into my Dreamweaver again, you can see that it has a transparency of 52%. So I'm going to go ahead, just so that we can see that a little bit better, I'm going to go ahead and take that up to maybe 8.8, my opacity. Refresh. There, and you can see it better. Now it's on top of things here, so I can go ahead and I can mess with the Z index if I want to. Right now it is on layer 3, so it's on top of everything else, which is automatically on layer like 0 as the background, and 1 I think would be the things that are on top of it. But if something doesn't have a Z index, it basically is just going to load in the order that it shows up in the HTML code. If you want something to be on top, you have to apply a Z index. But that's not what I want to talk about. What I do want to talk about is the fact, if you watch these things, and as I go in and out, you can see that it's changing its position. It's holding its top and bottom position, but left and right is not staying. And sometimes this is going to be okay. However, sometimes that's going to be a little distracting. And the way that you can go ahead and fix that is go back into your Dreamweaver and take your left, change it from just plain old left to, I'm going to go back and actually go back so I can avoid any spelling errors. Excuse me. I'm going to say margin left. It's to 622. File, save, go back into this, refresh. Whoops, that put it on the other side for me, didn't it? It may have to be margin right. But see, now at least it's holding its point in the page. Oh. Nope. It's because I had 2 colons there. Refresh, let's say, save that. So since I had 2 colons, it wasn't working at all. I was going to say that was kind of funky. But the weird thing about margins and divs is that margins work as you look at the screen, and float left and right work as if the web page is looking out at you, so they're backwards. And see, now it's holding its position. So that's perfect. The other thing, so if I wanted to go back in and actually do a separate layer for each of these things, I could have gotten, instead of trying to bump down my nav bar and my content, I could have actually gotten the absolute positioning for that.